Welcome back, Point Through people, to another exciting episode of the Point Through podcast. Spider Brando, Hero Scroll, and Lou. We are back here again, and in this episode, we are previewing What If Season 2. Just a quick heads up, we're not going to be holding back on spoilers, so consider this your official spoiler warning. But we're going to jump right into this episode. Spider Brando, speaking of episode, what episode are you most excited for in What If Season 2?
After looking at the list, you got some ones that really stand out, some that do not stand out. But mine's gotta be, I feel like Hero is gonna have this one too. But what if Hela found the 10 rings? 'Cause that just sounds batshit crazy. And kind of gives me like Ultron finding the Infinity Stones type vibes.
Respect.
And then imagine, a Hela and Ultron team up. Wow, that'd be nuts.
That's death of the MCU.
Yeah.
Freaking Kira to come in and say, no, not Kira. What was Amelia Clark's name?
Wow,
you forgot
your
baby mama.
I forgot like
edited
everything
out.
about that show.
Whoa.
That show was in and out after how bad it ended.
Gaia.
I said Kira or freaking. That was who she was in Solo.
Wow. Just
Listen,
remember,
man, I'm a little sick. My brain's all wonky. Had 10 days of news and stuff to recap on, all within the last like 72 hours that I've been back without service for those time. It's been a lot.
Guess who's getting the first hashtag? Amelia Clark.
I'm gonna laugh if she comes back in this.
Yeah,
in
when
this
she
show.
comments,
Yeah,
like everyone watching, subscribe, like this
Please.
video. Yeah,
please. Spider Brando. I almost had yours. It's probably my third. My second is definitely Supreme Strange coming back, but we made a rule before we started recording that we can't use that one. But honestly, I am excited for episode 6. Kaori reshaped the world, because I'm interested to see what they do with a brand new character in the MCU. And I think this is the perfect way to introduce a new character. You do it in a project that doesn't have as much, pressure on it, And yeah, I'm excited for it. Hopefully she's a welcome addition to the MCU and becomes a lot of people's favorite character. So I'm excited for that one. I think that's the one that I'm most anticipated to see.
Ditto on that one. I am definitely excited. Very interested in Kahori, young Mohawk woman. I just think it's cool. We kind of talked about this in our What If episode, MCU redo. I think it's cool to introduce a new character here. I mean, echoing everything that you said there. I like how late in the series list or episode list that this is. Again, what if they're going to be releasing everything starting on December 22nd? Each day we'll have a new episode, and we'll get through the 9 episodes in 9 days, which is a really cool concept. But having that kind of be 6 days in, I mean, listen, we have Nebula, Peter Quill, Happy Hogan, Iron Man, Captain Carter. I think by episode 6, and then following up with that, Hela, the Avengers assembled in 1602. Sounds kind of cool. And then Strange Supreme. The back half of this feels really heavy and like powerful, and that's where like the meat of these episodes are going to sit. So I think it'll really be nice to see Kahori be that character that kind of is the catalyst for What If hitting their stride, which will ultimately hopefully make a case for her to make the transition into the mainstream MCU. But we'll see. It's a good one.
I'm excited, and I love that, like you said, they are kind of back halving this, where the first ones, they're probably going to be the fun, kind of more nothing episodes. The Peter Quill attacking Earth Mightiest Heroes, I'm interested to see, because it
Mhm.
definitely seems like one of those out there type episodes. But Nebula joining the Nova Corps, Happy Hogan saving Christmas, and even Iron Man going into the Grandmaster doesn't seem like it's going to be anything too insane. Again, could be incredibly surprised, by next week. We'll see. But those are the ones that I really want to see. And I guess to that point, my question is though, it really seems like they are kind of solving an issue that we personally had in the first season, where Lou, you asked how do you make us care about these single episodes? Because after some point, it kind of gets to be a little redundant, and we kind of start asking, well, where's the connectivity? Where's it going to end? Are you happy they stuck to this one story per episode and kind of wrapping it all up at the end? Or do you think maybe they should have told one through line in between all of it all together and just had like little scenarios here and there?
I mean, I think that this is kind of the answer for the MCU as a whole, especially post Endgame, to where they're clearly making a concerted effort to introduce us to new characters that may or may not be overstaying their welcome, depending on how much time you want to invest in, a month plus of watching these characters. I think it's a good formula. And I think What If here, 9 episodes seems like a really good length. 30 minutes ish. Maybe your last one's 45, 50 minutes for kind of your big finale.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to how they use the Watcher. If the Watcher does not do, 75% of what he did for What If season 1 of the character who kind of pulls these stories together and is kind of that singular through line, I don't think that this will really succeed. The hard part here is, what I don't really understand is, I know What If is supposed to be what if, but the way that they presented season 1 is, what if all these other things happened in the vast multiverse where anything is possible, but there's only one Watcher. And if there's only one Watcher, then is he not watching over the live action MCU? Is he not watching over Sony Animated? Is he not watching over? He should know all of these things. And if they don't use him to connect season 2 and reference live action, this will be deemed as a probable failure, in my opinion, from that standpoint for the MCU today.
I agree. 100%. But thankfully, it seems like from the trailers, especially this second one, seems like they're starting to hint more towards that. And I would not be surprised if they do that at the end of this, where they reference something or even outright go into live action. Because again, at the end of, or at some point in this second trailer for What If season 2, we get a look at the world tree, the Yggdrasil that Loki made, which is very recent, fresh on everybody's minds. I wouldn't be surprised if they do something with that and tie it in, even if they don't make the jump from like animation to live action, but maybe you see Loki, maybe you see something, or maybe the Watcher sees something happens and is like, all right, I have to go do something now. And then goes, finds the Fantastic Four or something. I don't know. It'd be neat.
He just sees like the tree turning green. That's all I need. That'd be cool.
When you guys are those two things, the first thing that popped into my head was, if you see some sort of character getting spaghettified, or you see like timelines subtly, I would be totally okay if subtly the lights start to get dimmer, they're losing life in something, maybe the Watcher's in between dimensions to where a part of it is starting to like get dark, and then you just get this big inflection of green or something along those lines, to see, hey, this is kind of happening congruently with what happened in Loki season 2, and Loki's given life, but because of all the events that are occurring, and maybe the Watcher has to deal with Strange Supreme, he can't necessarily see what Loki's doing, but he knows Loki did something. That to me is more than enough.
Yeah.
More than enough to hint like we could get there, right? It's just a stepping stone in the right direction for me. That'd be so money.
Yeah. And what if in the final episode with Supreme Strange intervening, if they somehow connect that back to Multiverse of Madness, even bigger props to them, because they kind of know what they have with that. And to make it the finale again, I think they know what they're doing. And if they do that, I would dare say that What If could definitely jump into like top 10 MCU projects on that moment alone, if they do it right, and if they somehow tie that into what we've been seeing for the past 2 years now in the MCU.
So what do they do with a character like Scarlet Witch who's coming back?
Specifically her, I don't quite know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you keep that through line of something out there beckoning her for her children. I don't know if that's what they're going to do with her character in this one, but maybe. But thinking back to Strange, if they do something where, again, Clea comes out, you caused a what's it called? Incursion.
Mm-hmm.
What if it isn't the Strange we know and it's this Strange? Again. And
that would be
hopefully.
nice.
Hopefully. If they really wanted to, whatever Wanda we get in here, maybe something subtle like her eyes change at the end of her episode. They go red and, she gets back and she's like, I did it or something.
Mm-hmm.
Could be cool.
Spider Brando. What is the one thing that they cannot do?
It's so bad right now. Can you repeat that? Sorry, I had you guys were just both lagging for me for a little bit, and I think it was on my end.
No. Here, you sounded good.
My internet's a little choppy at the moment.
No, you sound good. You look good.
Oh, okay.
What's like the biggest?
The one thing they absolutely cannot do.
Yeah, just they cannot do.
Not connect the episodes back to season 1. Or
season 1.
No.
So are these the same?
The Captain Carter one's supposed to be kind of like a sequel to season 1 stuff. I think the Strange Supreme one probably will be. I don't know. I think the worst thing that they can do is just make every episode boring. Like, throw us some punches and give us a run for our money.
Oh.
He'll be back on. He'll be back on. We didn't really touch on this, but there are a lot of people who didn't want to watch What If because it's animated.
Yeah.
Are you expecting a better quality of animation, something different with animation? What's your thought from an animated standpoint? What do they need to do, or what is it that you missed from season 1 that you hope they add in for season 2?
Just keep up that quality that they had towards the end, because towards the end is kind of where they found their footing, both in terms of story, animation, and everything. You can tell they started trying a lot more. I think just keep that up. Keep it up. Give us a lot more cool looking things. Show these characters, doing their crazy stuff. When Kaori reshapes the world, go crazy with it. When Hela gets the 10 rings, go insane. When you get those moments, just let loose. Because you might not always have the chance in live action, but with animation, it's really kind of, obviously there's a limit in budget, but it's also kind of the limit of imagination and just animation.
What if Miles Morales shows up? And I'm just kidding.
Imagine,
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. During our redo, when we asked what episode we'd like to see, well, one of mine was gonna be like, what if Miles got bit by the spider? It kind of would have been like Spider-Verse, but I knew that couldn't happen.
If
I
they
wanted to
build
say
up,
something with Miles, but
listen, if they build up What If enough, and they cross over What If characters with maybe a handful of the Spider-Verse characters, bro,
it's doable.
bring me Miguel all day. All day long. You want to keep him an animated character and bring him into the MCU? What if? Oh, but to me, that just makes sense. If you want to build out more of an animated Marvel Studios side of the same coin, steal that from Hero Scroll, then play with your other team on the other side. You have a great Spider-Verse in
Yeah.
here. Pull some characters. You can do something along those lines. No problem. Like a what if animated universe that's pulling in the animated multiverse, Earth's Mightiest Heroes type of thing. Like, come on.
Be sick.
I'd be not for that. Shoot. But yeah, we can finally throw one up. My guy here can't fail. Can't fail. But everyone, with that, happy holidays. We have a lot of cool stuff. Actually, December has been actually good to us. When we were looking at the beginning of the rest of this year, I think it was June Geddon we had called it, or what do we call it? June Apocalypse.
June Apocalypse, yeah.
June Apocalypse was like peak of 2023. And then December was just like, what if I may be the most interesting month of cinema for you guys and TV and streaming? And we're like, oh, okay. Way to end the year strong. Let us know what you think of What If you're watching it and keeping up. Let us know. We're definitely going to be keeping up with each and every episode. It is right around Christmas time, so we're going to do our best to get you guys our thoughts on What If season 2. And again, we've targeted some episodes, so by New Year's Eve we'll have our thoughts out. We'll see what it's like. But with that, everyone, thank you for watching. If you like what you saw and what you heard from the Point 3 podcast, give this video a thumbs up. Also hit that subscribe button. Wednesday, 9:05 Eastern, we're doing a live stream. Lots to talk about. DC Marvel fans, come through. We want to hear from you. But until then, everyone, keep watching, keep reading, keep nerding out.